Support for this program is provided by Sequent Planning, an SEC-registered investment advisor, helping people make informed retirement income decisions. Additional information is available at sequentomaha.com.
Curling was invented in Scotland over 500 years ago, and the sport is still popular today, according to Olympic.org. Good afternoon, I'm Brian Vomaka.
And I'm Matt Kirkle. Coming up, the grandson of a former president gives us his remarks on a turning point in world history.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
From the studios of UNO Television, this is the Omaha News, presented by UNO School of Communication.
"75 years ago, thousands of American troops stormed Omaha Beach, not knowing if they would see the next day. How much were we as a country impacted by D-Day? Reporter Phil Lemon got to hear the grandson of former President Dwight Eisenhower speak on this critical turning point in U.S. history.
Not many of us can relate to D-Day in a personal way. Guest speaker David Eisenhower shared his research and thoughts on the infamous event with the UNO crowd grateful for his presence.
It's a valuable experience. It opens people's eyes to context and perspective on events that are taking place in the world today, and the opportunity to visit with somebody like Mr. Eisenhower just is part of what the college experience ought to be all about.
Eisenhower said he remembers his grandfather as a person, not just as a big political and military figure. Hearing his story with family ties gave listeners an interesting point of view.
The aspect of D-Day that will never die is that it stands as a monument to the ingenuity of what Americans possessed, or what America was, and the ingenuity of a free society. Stripping away everything else, that will always stand.
In addition to Eisenhower sharing his knowledge on D-Day and all that it entails, today's event was a great way for UNO faculty and students to ask questions and perhaps even gain a new perspective.
It was fascinating. You have a chance to meet somebody who knew the president and knew the general that commanded D-Day. That's unique, not a lot of opportunities for that.
Attending this Q&A gave students a chance to learn more about this event in U.S. history and understand how to tie that in to what is going on in our world now.
Even though D-Day is 75 years ago, we hear about the problems in Europe, the Middle East. These are relevant today.
For the Omaha News, I'm Phil Lemon.
In addition to being employed at the University of Pennsylvania, Mr. Eisenhower is also married to Julie Nixon Eisenhower, the daughter of former U.S. President Richard Nixon.
The Bohemian Cafe is a historic part of Omaha, a building that has stood for a century, even since it closed in 2016. Now developers are bringing the old and the new together. The century-old building will be home to Infusion, the brewery's third location. Infusion owner Bill Barbarek says that the cafe has roots in his family, since his grandparents met in that neighborhood. Barbarek says that he plans to preserve the neighborhood's history, still calling it Little Bohemia, and that Infusion will be serving a specially brewed Czech beer that will be exclusively served at Infusion.
Omaha, it's time to break out your rocks and dust off your brooms. A fan favorite sport is returning to Omaha in 2021. Reporter Ben Helwig is live at Baxter Arena with all the details surrounding the big announcement.
With state-of-the-art facilities and dedicated fans, Omaha's central location makes it a perfect place for hosting U.S. Olympic events. And with swimming already entrenched in Omaha's landscape, a second sport is now becoming something of a tradition.
When it comes to Olympic sports, Omaha has become the gold standard. The Omaha Sports Commission announced recently that Baxter Arena will be hosting the U.S. Olympic team curling trials in 2021. Assisting in the announcement were City Councilman Pete Festerson, former UNO hockey coach Mike Kemp, and perhaps most important of all, gold medal winner John Schuster.
It's always easier to compete someplace where you feel comfortable, and that was a place where we found a lot of comfort once we got to know the area when we were here in the trials in 2017.
Schuster captained the curling team to gold in the 2018 Winter Olympics, but his journey to the podium began right here in Omaha.
Like as far as facilities and the town and like the quality of the people around the town, it's definitely top five. I mean, The Baxter Arena, along with the Ralston Arena, have been world-class places that we've played, and we've had world-class ice.
2021 marks the second straight time Omaha will be hosting these U.S. curling trials, and after the United States' 2018 gold medal win, the excitement around curling here in Omaha only continues to grow.
Sean Morrison, president of the long-standing curling club in Omaha, the Exarban Curling Club, has witnessed the recent spike in the sport's interest.
We always see a bump after every Olympics, but after the last ones, the fact that we hosted the trials here, that the team that won eventually won the gold medal at the actual Olympics in South Korea, I think the Omaha community felt a bit of ownership and pride in that.
Omaha last hosted the curling trials in 2017 and the Curling World Cup in 2018. The trials will run from November 13th through the 21st of 2021.
Coming up, your go-to morning beverage may be related to headaches and other health concerns.
Next, the face behind the Nebraska Broadcasters Association brings state broadcasters together to make a difference in the community.
Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
One of the classes that you definitely need to take is interpersonal communication. This is a class that is designed to help you be a better human. It's not a class where the professor just stands at the front and just lectures. Everybody leaves the class with the belief that they can become better interpersonal communicators in their lives. And really, this class is just a first step.
Benson, where creativity is our culture. Benson's lively atmosphere offers a unique experience. Come enjoy great live music, enjoy a variety of bars, get amazing food from local restaurants, and shop at local businesses. Whatever you do, you won't be disappointed with your experience. Learn more at experiencebenson.com.
Hi there, I'm Jack Zerby, Director of UNO School of the Arts, and I'm here to talk to you about Theater 1010, Theater Appreciation. Why do we still do theater? Isn't this 2,500-year-old art form antiquated in this age of digital media? If so, why is the first act of many dictators to close the theaters? Well, we're going to find out as we look at the building blocks of drama, production, and how it makes a real impact in today's world.
What I feel coming to UNO is a sense of community, feeling like I had a home, and so I chose UNO because of that. To me, access to exceptional is having a cheerleader in your life, and anybody who has stepped foot in UNO knows that somebody cares about you. School isn't just getting a GPA. To go above and beyond that is what's going to make you an exceptional applicant to a job or a graduate program.
This is the Omaha News.
Jim Tim, the president of the Nebraska Broadcasters Association, largely funnels donations throughout the state. Reporter Harrison Popp explores the NBA's contributions to Nebraska.
So when I hit this door every morning, the mission is, what am I doing that's going to serve the members of the Nebraska Broadcasters Association?
Jim Tim, as president of the NBA, is the primary statewide resource aiding stations economically while preserving and maintaining the core broadcasting principles.
What we lean on them for is really having that understanding and making sure that we are part of the process to help be advocates for our industry.
Jim acts as a liaison for all TV and radio stations by collaborating with local broadcasting figures about the state of the industry.
There isn't a week that goes by where I'm not hearing from one or more of our news members about some topic.
However, Jim was given a mission facing the historic March flooding. The governor's office called him.
Yes, how can I help you?
Asking what state broadcasters could do. Jim then arranged a one-day telethon with the Red Cross, fundraising
just shy of $442,000 across the state in those 18 hours. It was amazing.
The NBA is equipped to support all broadcasting entities in the state. However, stations in rural Nebraska are more prone to request their services due to a lack of resources.
No 2 days are alike, and that's part of what makes it so much fun.
For the Omaha News, I'm Harrison Popp.
Jim's passion for the broadcasting industry spans over 4 decades. The latest focal point among Jim and the NBA is recruiting the next wave of broadcasters by attending public forums spanning the state.
The Living Dead invaded the streets of Benson for the annual Omaha Zombie Walk to support local artists. From 56th and Northwest Radial to 62nd and Maple, zombies roamed the streets of Omaha. Citizens showed up wearing all sorts of different costumes at the event, from The Walking Dead to soldiers protecting the living. Lead volunteer Sarah Pate worked at makeup stations around the area to transform living residents into their undead counterparts.
But there's a huge turnout. I mean, if you look in the streets right now compared to what Maple Street typically looks like, there is an excessive amount of people just having a great time walking the street, kind of oogling over each other and looking undead.
The benefits and donations from the Zombie Walk support BFF Omaha, formerly known as Benson's First Fridays. These events support regional and local artists like Sarah and promote cultural art in the Omaha area.
64% of American adults consume coffee every day, a total consumption of about 400 million cups of coffee every day, and 146 billion cups of coffee every year. Reporter Lillian Griffith is at our live table to investigate how what's in your morning brew can affect you.
The American Journal of Medicine studied a group of 98 people with migraines. They found coffee and caffeine consumption was largely at fault for triggering migraines, even more so than sleep or alcohol consumption. When people think of coffee, they usually think of comfort, not pain. But according to a study by Harvard Health, coffee is the #1 cause of migraines. Shaylee Holtz has been suffering from severe migraines since she was 11 years old.
These horrible, they're called inocular migraines. And it's when like you get really bad pain. It's like centralized, probably like in this area of your head. And it's, you see like a flashing light in your eye and then it just gets bigger and bigger.
Holst has even been hospitalized because her inocular migraines have been so severe. She carries Advil on hand with her at all times and believes coffee causes migraines from her own experience.
Well, if I ever have a headache or a migraine, I try to stay away from coffee, but sometimes it can happen after I drink the coffee, so I'm wondering if like that is ever hand in hand, like does the coffee make it worse? So I do think that caffeine makes migraines worse.
Drinking caffeine is a part of Holst's daily routine, and since these articles have come out, she has started to pay attention to her migraine to caffeine ratio.
I probably drink coffee or at least like some kind of caffeine every day, and then I'll probably get headaches either like a couple times every couple weeks.
Dr. Madhuri Ari is the chief of pain medicine at UNMC. She believes more research needs to be done before coffee earns a negative connotation.
Yeah, I think this is some new data, and I think more research needs to be done to give us larger sample sizes and to see what is actually going on. I think this is all speculative at this time, but having said that, I think there is also a finite amount that anyone can take.
Nebraska Medicine is one of many medical organizations researching the correlation between caffeine and migraines. Remember to think twice before you pour that second cup of coffee.
Coming up, we head over to our sports team to check in on Maverick soccer.
Next, we hit the women's basketball court to look at one player's international journey to play with the Mavericks.
All this and more on the Omaha News.
I wish I had someone to help me with my research paper.
The UNO Writing Center. It's a place where you can meet with a trained writing consultant to work on course papers, resumes, cover letters, theses, and dissertations. The UNO Writing Centers are located at Arts and Science 150, Chris Library, and Memo Hall 131.
That sounds great. I'll head there now.
It's that time of year again.
Flu season?
Ugh.
Did you know you can get your flu shot at the UNO Health Center?
But I'm already sick.
Well, the UNO Health Center can make you unsick.
Where are we?
Room 102 of the H&K building. Come here to get your flu shot or help with any health concerns you might have.
Well, thanks. I need all the help I can get.
Social media can be fun, but it can also be a powerful tool.
At the UNO Social Media Lab, we work together to advance our understanding of social media and technology on the UNO campus and beyond with research application services such as real-time social media tracking, social media listening, and assistance on how to work with first-party social media tools such as Twitter and Instagram analytics. We have also consulted and collaborated with communities in Nebraska to help them leverage social media to work for their communities.
Hi, my name is Marlena Davidson, and I'm a faculty member in the School of Communication here at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. Many of you might be asking yourself, how does an online public speaking class work? Well, technology has made it possible to craft an online course following the same objectives that we have in our face-to-face class. In the online class, there are videos, quizzes, assignments, and exams, even discussion forums that speak to the core concepts of public speaking. Students record their online speeches in front of their peers, and then they receive feedback. Now, our hope is that students will reduce their anxiety, develop a strong speaking voice, and use dynamic gestures. Hope to see you online.
Welcome back to this week's edition of Omaha Sports. I'm your host, Jay Bridgman. Omaha women's basketball kicks off their season tonight as they take on Lakeland in an exhibition game. The team is hoping to find their identity with so many players from outside the United States. Reporter Matt Kirkle got an inside look at one player's experiences playing internationally and what she has sacrificed to come to Omaha.
Although the women's basketball team has a few players that have come to UNO from overseas, nobody has more international experience than Elena Pillacuda. Before coming to Omaha, the sophomore forward made the rosters for the U16 and U18 Cyprus national teams.
It's a great honor to being able to represent your country at any tournaments and being able to have my flag and my jersey.
She finished the 2017 FIBA U18 European Championship averaging 12 points and 8.5 rebounds per game and put together a 24-point, 16-rebound performance in the group stage. These kinds of performances caught the attention of UNO.
Coach Ryan contacted me, and then I knew from the very first video call that we had that Omaha was the right place for me.
Pillacuda doesn't regret her decision to come to Omaha, but she does admit that the culture shock was a transition, and she has moments where she can't help but miss her loved ones.
Well, everything is different here, from culture to language and everything, so it's hard to be away from your family for such a long time.
Pillacuda says everything from eating to learning English has been an adjustment, but her teammates have noticed her opening up more socially and becoming more of a vocal leader.
She communicates a lot more frequently now, on and off the court. She's so funny to be around. Her little jokes are the best. You always want to hear those.
Pillacuda logged a lot of minutes in her freshman season for the Mavs and looks to build off of that with the rest of this young Maverick team.
Now I feel like I have more experience on that, and I know what to expect in the game and the level here, and I feel like we'll do better this year.
The Mavericks have 5 players on their roster from outside of the United States, all the way from Australia to South America. With such a young and diverse roster, the women's basketball team will begin to answer some of their depth questions when the season begins later this evening. The Omaha women's soccer team wrapped up their home season in a 2-1 victory over Oral Roberts. The Mavericks needed a good result to keep their goal of reaching another Summit League tournament intact. The victory took Omaha to 6 points in the Summit League table, putting them within striking distance of the top 4 and leaving head coach Tim Walker's optimistic about the team's postseason changes.
I mean, the 2 that we had to have, we won. My concern was we have to beat Oral Roberts at home, and we have to beat North Dakota State at home. And as long as we do that and we hold the tiebreakers, then we're going to have a chance these last 3 games. So it's going to be tough going on the road here, but you told me 2-2 at the beginning of the season, I probably would have ripped your hand off for it.
Omaha's goals came from a 66-minute penalty kick converted by senior Abby Meter, followed by an outrageous strike from distance off the boot of sophomore Amanda Rapadusky in the 84th. Since that match, the Mavericks lost 5-2 to South Dakota and 4-2 against North Dakota. Omaha will wrap up its season tomorrow night on the road at Purdue Fort Wayne. Basketball season is here for the Mavericks. Coming off a losing season and a new lineup could be a big catalyst for change in Omaha women's basketball team. After ending last season winning only 8 games, the UNO women's basketball team has a new look and a new attitude heading into the year. The 15-player roster now consists of 7 new members and 8 returners. Athletes such as Emily Peterson and Sophie Johnston are just a couple of players that heavily contributed to the team's success last year and will be go-to players this season as well. A familiar face also returns to the team this year in junior guard Claire Killian. In only her 3rd year on the team, Killian has been a member longer than anyone else. In 3 years, Killian has had teammates come and go, which made it difficult to find consistency. However, Killian is optimistic about this group of women.
We're super quick, so we can use that to our advantage on like fast breaks, and we're really versatile. So we've got, people who can run, people who can post up, people who can shoot. If a team shuts one thing down, we've got another area.
Head coach Brittany Lang believes this group is the most versatile she's seen in her 7 years as head coach. Player development will be a main focus for Lang this year.
I'm really looking forward for a few individuals to kind of come into their own as really key players or go-to players, but I think we're going to see a lot of growth from a lot of different areas, and the unknown's really exciting for us.
With all the right pieces, the only thing left for the UNO women's basketball team is to win games and have fun.
I mean, it's a long season, so I want to have so much fun that it doesn't feel like it's a responsibility.
The UNO women's basketball team will have another game versus inner-city rival Creighton on Tuesday, November 5th. That's all we have for Maverick Athletics this week. Brian, Matt, back to you.
Thanks, Jay. Coming up, the Henry Dorley Zoo brought a unique experience to the Omaha Metro.
Next, small businesses came together for a convention showcasing kooky curios and bizarre bric-a-brac.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Are you a UNO college student struggling to find your next meal? You are not alone.
A recent Temple University survey of 43,000 college students found that 36% are considered food insecure. If you find yourself among this group, contact the Maverick Food Pantry.
Located in room 130 in the Community Engagement Center, the Maverick Food Pantry offers packages with 2 days' worth of non-perishable items.
For more information, search Maverick Food Pantry at unomaha.edu. At UNO, we are a family.
And Mavericks take care of each other.
There is a spark inside every one of us that seeks to create and express ourselves. A spark that burns with the desire to capture our imagination into reality. And there is a place where that spark can grow. 13th Floor Magazine. We are not just for writers. Join us and share your passion with the world.
Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Faded press to a full.
The Boy Scouts of America was founded in 1910 with the intent of instilling lifelong values in America's youth. To encourage this notion, Troop 60 of Papillion, Nebraska raised $30,000 with the help of others to save a long-used log cabin near the city center. This local relic served as the original meeting place for the troop and has influenced generations of young boys through the years. Troop leader Tim Shalane says there is a sense of unity in the near-century-old landmark.
You know, when we started this project, several, older adults had come up and, mentioned that they remember this from when they were kids, and they just always thought it was really cool to have that in the park.
Having given this cabin new life, residents and troop members alike say they feel they have helped save a local memory from becoming a thing of the past.
The 3rd annual Omaha Oddities and Art Expo was last weekend in downtown Omaha. The event showcased many local businesses selling all sorts of items. All things weird, strange, unique, and creepy were welcome at this year's Omaha Oddities and Art Expo. Derek Everhart, the owner of Voodoo's Odd Shop and the creator of the event, said he works year-round on the setup.
It's a heavily Halloween-based event. Got 50-plus vendors of odd and art, multiple performers of fire, sideshow, things like that. This just gives everybody a good platform to come together and sell their weird stuff.
The event featured items like wood carvings, animal skulls, and of course, what oddity expo would be complete without a variety of voodoo dolls? In addition to the items on display, several live performances took place throughout the day.
I have two basic skill sets, lying and cheating. Basically, I could have been a lawyer, politician, or magician, but, I have morals, so magician.
The expo is the perfect place for those looking for unique and interesting items, and also for local vendors looking for more exposure for their business. The Toxic Coffin specializes in realistic, life-size tombstones. For a small business like this, the expo is a valuable opportunity.
Especially with the live podcasts they're doing now and stuff. It seems to grow every year, so it's getting better and better for opportunity-wise.
Everhart says he has been a collector of weird stuff for 20 years. He was inspired by similar events throughout the country and takes pride in supporting local people.
It actually means a lot to me because, some of these people don't even get a platform to show their work, so this gives them, it gives them another avenue to show their passion. So that's more what's important to me is their passion than it is mine.
Everhart says he created the expo because Omaha is the perfect home for an event like this.
The Henry Dorley Zoo tried something new with its patrons and animals this year, celebrating a Halloween event called Ghouls and Glow. The event featured a roaming bats exhibit, a live fire show, a pumpkin tree, a fun area for kids, and plenty of lights and decorations. Dennis Schnurbush is the man behind Ghouls and Glow and says he wanted to do something to raise zoo attendance in the fall. He says out of the many popular attractions this year, the Chinese lanterns tell a story all their own.
We wanted to do a little bit of a twist on it. So the first time in the U.S. that this particular show has been offered in a Halloween format where the structures are really designed around Halloween elements.
Ghouls and Glow made for a fun family experience by showcasing the exhibits and aquarium after dark. This unique approach helped kids enjoy Halloween all throughout the month of October. Although Ghouls and Glow had to wrap up their year, it showed that Omaha residents can get Halloween thrills outside of haunted houses and pumpkin patches. That's all we have today. Join us next week for more exciting stories in your community.
Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at UNO, the Omaha News, or find our website for even more news and stories at unomahanews.com.
From all of us here at UNO Television, thanks for watching.
We'll see you next time.
Support for this program is provided by Sequent Planning, an SEC-registered investment advisor, helping people make informed retirement income decisions. Additional information is available at sequentomaha.com.
When a child is fighting cancer, the Love Your Melon UNO campus crew is there. We believe in a simple positive impact by visiting these children and doing volunteer work around the community.
Being able to work with people, do volunteering, and helping those that really need it is a really big draw for me.
Please visit our social media or loveyourmelon.com for more information.
Lyle, calm down.
For over a century, the Child Saving Institute has been responding to the cry of a child, helping children and their families in all sorts of circumstances, through pregnancy counseling, to early childhood education, and family therapy, to foster parenting. The Child Saving Institute is here to make sure we give children from infants to young adults the best childhood possible. Child Saving Institute, where childhood matters, we make a difference.
Through
UNO, I have had access to lifelong friendships. My best friend to this day, I met on the first day of sorority recruitment. I met more friends that first day of recruitment than I think I've probably ever made in my life. In your backyard is Exarban Village. Just because it's summer, not everybody is packing up and going home. Since it is a metropolitan university, you have Omaha right at your doorstep.